Hi everybody, Cynthia here from the Scrappy Bookworm. I thought I had a lot of requests and questions about how I make, these little guys. So this is what they look like on top, and then this is them from the side. Excuse my fingers if they're dirty, but I've been playing in ink. These are the leaves on the bottom. So I did have some questions, a lot of questions, and how do you make those? So I decided to come back and show you. So first I'm going to tell you, I use a pair of tweezers like this with the long ends, and I first learned how to manipulate paper with them by watching a video on Fiona's channel, which is Jennings644. Now, she does a tiny flower, and it's not the same flower as this one, but I think she uses 4 petals and she twists her paper all the way around. I don't do it that way, but I wanted to let you know where I first learned how to manipulate paper with a pair of tweezers, and that's where. So I'm going to post the link to that particular video below, so you guys can learn how to make that flower as well. And I don't know if you guys have ever watched any of Fiona's videos, but she probably by now has thousands of flower tutorials on her channel. So, if you ever want to learn how to make a particular flower, you might want to check it out. Check out her channel, because she makes like tons and tons of different types of flowers. But anyway, so that's where I first learned how to do that. And you can pretty much manipulate any flower petal you want this way, as long as you have enough room to bend and fold it. I don't think you could probably manipulate like this kind of flower because it's not cut down in the center enough. You see what I'm saying? It gives you a nice big petal here, where here you'd probably have to like cut into the paper more in order to manipulate it that way, or it would probably tear. Alright, so anyway, sorry, here I am babbling again. What I use for this little flower is the little EK Success Punch, flower punch. And I punch out three punches for the flower itself, and then 1 for the leaves on the bottom. So when you first start, and I'm really hoping you guys are going to see this, I take my tweezers and I line them up in the middle of the petal. Okay, I put one, here I have hot glue all over my fingers, put one finger underneath, my thumb on top, and I twist the tweezers. Okay, you see what I'm doing? See how it makes that fold, and then I pinch it. Put the tweezers in the middle of the petal. I'm going to try and stay away from the petal so you can actually see what I'm doing. I twist the tweezer. See how I made that fold? And now I'll pinch it closed. And it should end up looking like this. In the middle, twist, okay, kind of forms like a little S pattern on the leaf or the petal, and then you pinch it closed, and it should look like that. I'm going to do that again. Twist, you're kind of like folding it over, okay, pull out your tweezer, you should see like a little S pattern, and pinch it. Okay, so then your petals should end up looking like this, where they look almost folded, yet they're dimensional. Okay, you're gonna do that to all of your flowers. Just fold and pinch, fold and pinch, and fold and pinch. Okay, so once those are done, put those aside. You're going to do the same thing to your leaf area, but you're only going to do it to 3 of them. Oh gosh, I'm sorry, I have hot glue and everything all over me. It might be easier, maybe it'll show up better on the camera with this color. In the center, twist, okay, so you can see what the petal looks like, and then pinch it down. You're basically folding and pinching. Okay, so do the 2 bottom ones and then this top one here. Okay, and then I snip these 2 pieces off, and that forms my leaves for the bottom. Okay, so then once you have your petals made, what I like to do to kind of sparkle it up a little bit is take some glitter glue, any color you want, and I just put the tiniest amount, usually on like the right side of the petal, the folded up one. Okay, this part over here. Oop, too much, just a little bit, and then I'll let that dry. Okay, and I'll let that dry. So once they're dry, which I have some already dried and ready to go, let me just grab them. Okay, they'll look like that. Look at me, I have stuff all over. Okay, you're gonna want to glue them. I use hot glue a lot, and I push them down with the end of a paintbrush, rounded paintbrush handle. You can use whatever you would like. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the back. You don't need a lot. And then I'm going to place them down. And you want to layer your petals, you know. You don't want to, and I push it down in the center with my paintbrush. But you want to layer your petals, you don't want to match them up. A little bit of hot glue, layer the petals. Okay, then I'll take my paintbrush and I'll push down in the center so it adheres well. And then it also pushes up on the petals more. So you'll end up having it look like that. Okay. And then usually at this point, I like to ink it, depending on what kind of flower I'm doing. So I'm just using a little bit of black soot. And I'm just going to go through and kind of add a little bit of ink to the ends, not pushing hard. I don't press hard at all because you don't want to flatten out your flower again. But this stays pretty sturdy, and they stay pretty stiff and nice for quite a long time. So, and then to add a center to my flower, I just use a little pop dot, and you can add any kind of center you want. Now these pop dots, I don't know, I like to add a little bit of extra glue when I put them on. Sometimes the adhesive is really good with these pop dots, and sometimes they come off after a while, so I like to make sure it's really down there. And I'll take that top part off and pick a center for my flower. Add a little more hot glue to the top of the pop dot. And then add my center in. Okay, then once I have my center, I turn it around, add a little bit of hot glue to the back. Oh, my phone's going off now. Sorry guys if you hear that. But I'll add a little bit of glue to the back, and then I'll layer my leaves in. And that's how it turns out. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. But that's pretty much how I make those. And a lot of times I will punch out these petals ahead of time. Like at the end of the day, if I have scraps left over, like say I have this little piece of scrap material and I know I'm not going to really use that for anything, I'll just take my punch out a bunch of petals, and then I'll throw them in a little container. And then, you know, sometimes by the end of the week I have half a container full of these little petals. So then I'll sit and I'll play with them and manipulate the petals while I'm watching TV at night, and I can get a ton of them done that way. So that's just, you know, a little trick that I learned, and then it keeps my hands busy at night, and I don't want to snack, because I like to snack on some popcorn and stuff while I'm watching TV, and I'm trying not to do that. So oh gosh. Anyway guys, that's how I make these little guys. So I hope that helped, and if you make some, have fun with it, and thanks for watching. Take care.